Welcome to the Midnight Hotel, where every guest leaves a story behind.
The Miserable Child and the Wretched Maid. Part 2, The Forgotten Child. The basement laundry room of the Midnight Hotel never truly slept. Even during quiet hours, the ancient machines rumbled softly against the stone walls, while steam drifted through the air in pale clouds thick enough to blur the corners of the room. Miriam Vale stood alone beside one of the industrial washers, folding freshly cleaned sheets beneath the flickering ceiling lights. The storm outside had worsened again. She could hear the distant thunder, even down here beneath the hotel. But it was not the storm occupying her thoughts. It was him, Adrian Valecourt, the charming guest. The strange familiarity she felt around him unsettled her more than she cared to admit. She had met countless guests over the years. Drunkards, merchants, widows, runaways, priests, murderers pretending not to be murderers. Yet something about Adrian lingered unpleasantly in her thoughts. Not memory, something thinner. Like an old scar beneath skin she no longer remembered receiving. Miriam sighed softly and continued folding towels. Ridiculous, she muttered to herself. Then, somewhere behind the far wall, a little girl giggled. Miriam froze immediately. Silence followed. Only the low rattling of pipes echoed through the room now. Slowly, Miriam looked toward the far end of the laundry hall, where old water-stained stone disappeared into shadow near the boiler corridors. Nothing. The lights flickered once overhead. Then came murmuring. Soft, unclear, almost like distant voices speaking beneath water. Miriam had been working at the hotel for some time now, and she knew too well to not fall prey or indulge into the many bizarre and unseen happenings around the hotel. Since the host treated them fairly and compensated them enough, the staff, and to some extent, even the many guests trusted the host and treated this place as a sanctuary. The only thing required for them was to not indulge themselves into the guests' lives or to pry into their secrets, unless, of course, the guests themselves revealed it, or in some instances, the host had told the staff too. This also applied to the very staff in the hotel itself. Guests very actively warned not to pry or disturb the staff or the hotel workings, or to some instance disturb its balance. Miriam knew all this and had the utmost reverence and respect, maybe to an extent even fear to these rules and towards the host himself. But this time was different. This time she could not hold back her curiosity, as some unseen force was pulling her attention, or her very being into focusing on the murmurs she was hearing. Miriam slowly set the folded towels down. The murmuring continued, childlike, barely understandable. Against her better judgment, she walked toward the sound. The further she moved from the machines, the colder the basement became. Steam curled across the floor around her shoes. The murmuring grew louder. Miriam finally reached the far wall beside a cluster of ancient rusted pipes. Very carefully, she leaned closer, pressed one ear against the damp stone. The voices stopped instantly. Silence. Miriam frowned faintly. Who's there? She asked quietly. No answer. Then, something wet touched the wall beside her hand. Miriam looked slowly upward. A tiny, muddy handprint had appeared against the stone. Fresh. Another appeared beside it. Then another. Small, bloody fingerprints dragging slowly downward across the wall itself. Miriam stumbled backward immediately. The lights overhead flickered violently. And from the other side of the wall, a little girl's voice whispered softly, Mohammed. The entire basement fell silent. Miriam stared at the handprints in horror. Her breathing became uneven. Who? She whispered shakily. Who are you? No answer came immediately. Only soft breathing from the other side of the wall. Then, a quiet child's voice again. Did you forget me? Miriam backed away another step. Fear crawled violently beneath her skin now. I don't have children. The little girl giggled softly. Sad giggling. Not mocking. Lonely. You always say that. Miriam's stomach tightened painfully. The handprint slowly slid lower against the wall. Mama, stop calling me that. Silence followed, long enough for Miriam to almost convince herself she had imagined everything. Then the child spoke again quietly. Father came back. Miriam frowned. Father, he's upstairs. Something cold moved slowly through Miriam's chest. Adrian, impossible. No. None of this made sense. You're confused, Miriam whispered. The child laughed softly again. This time closer. Much closer. Then something small slid slowly out from beneath the old pipe, opening near the floor. A silver locket, darkened with age, its surface engraved with black roses, twisting around a tiny crimson gemstone at the center. Dried blood stained part of the chain. Miriam stared at it silently. The child's voice softened. Do you remember Father's gift? Upstairs, Adrian Valecourt poured himself a drink beside the window of room 217, while rain battered the glass beyond the velvet curtains. The Midnight Hotel unsettled him. Not openly, not enough to leave, but enough to keep him from relaxing completely. Especially the maid, Miriam Vale. Interesting woman. Beautiful in a distant sort of way. Cold, guarded. The kind of woman that made men curious simply because she refused to be charmed. Adrian smirked faintly while loosening his collar. He had met women like her before. Eventually they all softened. Usually faster than expected. Still, something about her felt strange, not merely attractive, familiar, and that bothered him slightly. Adrian took another sip from his glass. Perhaps the hotel atmosphere was affecting him. The old place certainly had personality, though admittedly, that personality occasionally felt hostile. Then, 3 soft knocks echoed against the door. Adrian frowned. He had not informed anyone which room he'd been assigned. Slowly he approached the door. Who is it? A voice answered quietly from the other side. A mutual associate. Adrian's expression sharpened immediately. Interesting. He unlocked the door cautiously. A hooded man stood waiting outside beneath the dim hallway lights. Older, thin, gloved hands clutching a leather case tightly against his chest. His nervous eyes immediately scanned the hallway before entering. The moment Adrian shut the door behind him, the hooded man spoke quietly. You shouldn't have arranged the exchange here. Adrian raised an eyebrow. You knew the location. Yes, the dealer answered uneasily. That's the problem. The basement had grown colder. Miriam slowly picked up the silver locket with trembling fingers. The metal felt warm. Impossible. The little girl behind the wall laughed softly again. You kept it. Miriam stared down at the object silently. I've never seen this before. Yes, you have. No. Yes. The child's voice no longer sounded distant now. It sounded close enough to whisper directly beside Miriam's ear. Mama used to wear it every day. Miriam's breathing became shaky. The locket suddenly felt heavier in her hand. Who are you? She whispered. A long silence followed. Then quietly, I missed you." Something about the sadness in the child's voice hurt far more than the fear. Miriam swallowed hard. "This isn't real. You always say that too." The lights flickered again, and for the briefest moment, Miriam saw the outline of a little girl standing behind the steam near the corridor entrance. Barefoot, small hands folded against a pale dress, watching her silently. Then gone. Miriam's pulse hammered violently. The child spoke one last time. Father came back for the locket. Then silence returned completely. Only the pipes remained humming softly inside the walls. Inside room 217, the hooded dealer carefully placed an old velvet-wrapped object onto the table between himself and Adrian. Neither man touched it immediately. Rain thundered violently outside now. "You said this belonged to the Ashbourne collection," Adrian said quietly. "It did." And the dealer hesitated, then slowly removed the velvet cloth. A silver mourning locket rested beneath it. Black roses engraved around a crimson gemstone. Dried blood stained the chain. Adrian's expression changed immediately, because he recognized it. Not from memory, from instinct, like seeing something from a dream he had forgotten upon waking. The dealer noticed his reaction instantly. "I told you this object was dangerous." Adrian carefully reached toward it. "What exactly does it do?" The hooded man's face paled slightly beneath the dim room lighting. "It remembers." Silence settled heavily between them. Then the dealer spoke again quietly. "If you hear a child singing after opening it," he swallowed hard, "do not answer her." Far below the hotel, inside the basement laundry hall, the silver locket in Miriam's trembling hands slowly began beating, like a heart. And behind the reception desk upstairs, the host closed the guest registry softly. A faint smile crossed his face. "And so," he murmured quietly to himself, "the woeful tale of tragedy begins."